Hi, I'm Doc and I make mouse calls. Hi, and welcome to Mouse Calls. If you're new to the channel, thanks for being here. I am Doc, and this is Somewhat Savvy. And Mouse Calls are my visits to the mouse. They're Disney trips that I take basically whenever I get the chance. They're one of my favorite ways to get away from my stressful job, unwind, have some fun, make some memories. And then these videos just kind of capture that and share the vicarious magic with you guys at home. Today we are coming to you from Disney's Blizzard Beach water park. And this is a very exciting mouse call for us because neither Somewhat Savvy nor I have ever experienced Disney's Blizzard Beach. We have done Typhoon Lagoon, and we thought that was actually that quite exceeded expectations. So I'm very interested to check out Blizzard Beach. Very different theming, wonderful, wintry, watery fun. So let's head into the park. Today is our resort check-in day. So because it's 2025, we get free Blizzard Beach admission on our check-in day. And that's pretty hard to beat. Now I think this video is going to be more of a mouse tale, which is my name for the shorter videos that usually cover either the beginning or the tail end of one of our trips. And since this is just one little water park on our check-in day, I think that's what we'll do. Walking in, this already looks very fun. We've got some snow/sand situation over here. Some sleds. We're coming up on Beach House, which is the main merchandise location here, and it looks like we can get our complimentary towels as Disney Resort guests here. That was easy. We got our towels. And some of the things in Beach House have already caught my eye a little bit, but more than that, I am hungry. So I think the first thing we're gonna do is grab some eats. And there are actually quite a few locations where you can get food and beverages at Blizzard Beach. We're coming upon Wata Wata Lodge right now, which is probably the largest one, I believe. But there are many other little kind of kiosks and snack stands around. I do want to look at the menu at Wata Wata Lodge though, because I think it might be a bit more robust than the others. So we decided not to get the food at Wata Wata Lodge, although that flatbread did look pretty good. It seemed pretty similar to what we had at Typhoon Lagoon though. So instead we went over to Ava Lunch, and we got this monster hot dog, as you can see, loaded with bacon and mac and cheese. This seemed like one of the more, kind of unique to Blizzard Beach offerings that they had, so we figured, why not? It came with chips, and then we also got a couple of beverages over here at the Polar Pub. Now, with these souvenir mugs, you can get, I think it's $9 refills, which is, a slight discount from the regular price of the beers here, so if you're a beer fan, this can be a good deal. Cheers. Cheers. I was very disappointed that they did not have Sam Adams Seasonal, which they do carry at Typhoon Lagoon, because the seasonal right now is Cold Snap. And we are in the midst of a bit of a cold snap right now. More on that later. I hate it when it extends beyond the bun. I don't want a naked dog. Like that. Okay. I will comment on the dog. The dog on its own is still tasty. Oh, good. I'm gonna try the whole thing. Well done. I think the hot dog is a bit less than the sum of its parts. It's like I probably would enjoy all of these things separately a bit more. Okay, so I alluded to there being a cold snap. Basically, we're here in early spring. The temperature is in the 60s and it's actually quite windy today. We actually weren't even sure if they were going to open Blizzard Beach, but indeed it is open and there is a shocking number of people here. It doesn't seem to be bothering most, so we are going to give it a shot. We're going to try the slides later, but we're just like biding our time before we have to get cold and wet. Which is why we're taking a nice luxurious time with our very mid hot dog and our beers. You know, if you recall, our Typhoon Lagoon day was, shall we say, compromised by a torrential storm. So for our Blizzard Beach day to be unseasonably cold is very on brand. I was also able to reactivate my souvenir sipper from my Typhoon Lagoon trip. So unlike the resort refillable mugs, the souvenir sippers you can get at the water parks can be reactivated for a few bucks, and then you can, you know, get bottomless refills of soft drinks while you're here in the park, which, you know, is a really good value if you plan on coming back, especially. And now, we've spent probably about as much time as we reasonably can at the Polar Pub, and we've got a couple more items to do before we brave the water. So I want to go over to the beach house real quick and just take a quick look at the merch. Hi, thanks. Now, I know that somewhere in this park is a plaque explaining the lore of Blizzard Beach. We haven't found it yet. So I'm just going to tell you that, as far as I understand it, the theme is centered around a freak snowstorm that happened, I think, in the 70s, you know, fictionally, in Florida, and dumped a bunch of snow on this area, thus prompting the building of this ski resort in Florida, Florida's first. And then as, of course, the Florida sun and heat returned, the snow started melting and it sort of transitioned into a water park. So that's the story of Blizzard Beach, and if I can find some footage of that plaque explaining that, I will put it here. But this is why you can see the sort of constant superposition of beach and, you know, tropical versus skiing, alpine, all throughout this park.
I need some rain. It is St. Patrick's Day after all.
Yes. I won't be wearing mine to St. Patrick's Day.
I'm not even. Wear mine now, though.
Yeah. We acquired friendship bracelets. Yet more friendship bracelets.
The collection grows.
And honestly, I think it's a little bit less gusty than it was before. Yeah. We're kind of like warmed up a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take the chairlift, which is a very fun, very unique feature of Blizzard Beach. At least I'm assuming it's fun. It looks fun.
It looks fun.
We're going to take the chairlift to the top of Mount Gushmore, mm-hmm. and kind of just explore the theming up there a little bit more. And then we will finally take the plunge. Now, the thing about the chairlift here at Blizzard Beach is that you can ride it up, but you cannot ride it down. So to get down, you will either have to take one of the slides, or, you know, it is possible to walk down. So we'll take it up, we'll explore the peak a little bit, and then we'll walk down, exchange our stuff, and go back to the summit for Summit Plummet.
Single? All right, number 2 for me, bud. All right, my ladies. 1 and 2 for me. Have fun.
Thanks. So immediately we can see that you can access multiple slides from the top of Mount Gushmore here, including Summit Plummet, as well as looks like Slush Gusher, Teamboat Springs. I think probably a few more down the pathway here. Alright, after the observation deck, we are making our way back down so that we can steel ourselves and tackle the mountain. The camera is blurry. Okay, well I don't love that, but I think it's passable for now. Alright, we're ready to hit the slopes, and we've done so much procrastinating that there's only like an hour of park time left. So we're gonna try and speed run this.
It's nice though.
It is. It's better now, better conditions than we had before. So we're gonna go for it. Alright. Here we are. Okay. It is chilly. Chilly when wet.
A little chilly, yeah.
Woo.
Oh my god.
Woo. I mean, okay. It was actually not bad at all.
No.
Like, to be fair. Good.
Oh, it's still recording.
Not terrifying. Actually not terrifying.
No.
So, that's good.
You can get banana blasted, you can
I hope that my GoPro got anything.
I don't know if you got your intro.
And now we are cold, but we are on a mission. On to the next one.
Yep.
Okay.
Do it.
That was fine. It was long. Long but tame. It was no Misadventure Falls. I wonder how biased we are because we went to Typhoon Lagoon first. Like, I found Typhoon Lagoon very thrilling. This is like fine by comparison. We have found that as long as we are walking and it's not very dusty, we're actually fine. The temperature is quite tolerable. That said, when the wind blows, you do very much notice it. And now we're gonna try to go over to the purple slopes because they have like the toboggan racers, which is really, you know, unique. They don't have anything like that at Typhoon Lagoon. And we wanna race face first.
That was very slow.
Oh, I like that one.
I like that one too.
I saw a previous video where the lighter person won, and so I didn't think I would have as strong an advantage.
I didn't get a good kickoff.
Yeah.
So I'm a little short.
Yeah, I did get a good kickoff.
But
no, that was good.
It was fun.
Yeah, I would say that one's a good one, especially to do with, you know, friends and family. I feel like we need to do at least one thing from the red. Let's see if we can fit in one red slope ride. Okay, Runoff Rapids it is.
You make it.
We're gonna do Runoff Rapids as our last slide of the day as we are rapidly running out of time. It appears to be some sort of tubular slide. We like tubes.
Yeah.
They're suspenseful. That sign said that only one of the 3 potential routes was totally enclosed.
Oh. Interesting.
I think I want the enclosed one though.
Okay,
So
let's do it.
it'll be, you know, scarier. Yeah, that was a good one.
But I thought it was just a flash of light, and it was like, let's take a picture. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there was one portion where like, so there are like these little pierced,
Yeah.
you know, points throughout the slide. And at one point the sun came through just right, so it looked like it was taking our picture. Oh, but that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was probably the most thrilling one that we've been on, honestly, just because you can't see what's happening. Yeah. Although, I mean, I don't know. It was nice and warm. I guess it's probably difficult to like call that more thrilling than Summit Plummet. Honestly, I don't know. Summit Plummet was a little underwhelming to me. I mean, it's fine. It's not bad.
No, but it's like, I think it was hyped.
It was less scary than I thought it would be. That one was good though. All right, so we've sampled the purple, the green, and the red now. You know, Blizzard Beach does have a. Oh boy.
Blizzard Beach is now closed.
Oh.
We ask that you finish gathering all of your personal belongings on the beach and locker areas, as the changing room will be closing in 15 minutes.
I didn't think we stayed here till close.
No, I didn't think we'd be here till 6 either. We got here, what, like around 1 to 2? Between 1 and 2 p.m. So we've just had the announcement that it is, in fact, now closed. So we've stayed here until 6 p.m. They just now opened, like they just now extended their opening hours for the season to 6 p.m. It had been 5 throughout the winter. But I think we got a nice taste.
Yeah.
We're going to quickly gather our things and, endure the frigid bus ride back to Coronado Springs, and then we'll give you some thoughts on this quick little mouse tail at Blizzard Beach. And just like that, we are back at Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. We're here in our room in one of the cabanas, which is fine. This is not a Coronado Springs episode, so I'm not going to get into that. But we will give you our thoughts about our day at Disney's Blizzard Beach water park. So, overall, I had a good day.
Yeah, surprisingly, actually. Like, I wasn't expecting anything in particular, so I was like, we've been to, Typhoon Lagoon. Similar experience, but cold.
It was chilly. I guess I'll start out with, yes, we were quite concerned about the temperature. As I said before, it did not really get out of the 60s all day. For our slide going experience, thankfully the wind had died down. And I would say that based on that, if it's in the upper 60s, sunny and not windy, I would say go for it. Will you be chilly if you're sitting down wet? Yes, but as long as you're active, the water is heated to, I want to say like 80, 82 degrees, somewhere in that range. And so the water is not going to shock you. It's perfectly possible to not be miserable taking advantage of the slides, and I would say even the pool and the lazy river probably.
Yeah.
If it's upper 60s and not windy. I think we would have had a different impression if we had tried when the wind was really blowing.
Yeah. Because it was cold wind, too. It wasn't like a nice, warm... It was pretty chilly, so...
We were right on the edge of freezing at Blizzard Beach. I think my problem, perhaps, is that my expectations were set quite high by Typhoon Lagoon. And so, maybe this is a point I should have saved for the end, but I will say, compared to Typhoon Lagoon, I don't know, Blizzard Beach is like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, I mean, being not like a water park aficionado in general, I enjoyed Typhoon Lagoon more, and I'm not sure what the factors are.
A couple of things I've processed about the differences between Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon. I don't know their actual true sizes, but Typhoon Lagoon definitely seems bigger.
Yeah.
Not in an unmanageable way as far as navigating it, but just Typhoon Lagoon has the vast wave pool, and it just seems much more open and kind of spread out. Blizzard Beach just isn't as open, and I guess it being sort of an alpine theme,
Yeah.
maybe that makes sense.
Because things did seem taller. There were a lot more like going up and having something that was more of a longer ride or more steep ride or whatever down, as opposed to Typhoon Lagoon where things are more, I don't know.
Yeah, there's not as much elevation change in
Yeah.
Typhoon Lagoon.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I'm of two minds about the theming of Blizzard Beach. On the one hand, I completely respect it. Like, it's a fabulously creative idea for a water park. I love the lore of like the melting, like the pop-up ski resort that starts melting. I think that's very, very cute, charming, wonderful idea for a water park. And the way that they've executed like the whole ski resort look, with the lodge and the skis and the snowboards and everything. It's one of those things I probably love on paper a little bit more than being there.
Yeah.
Because that sort of dissonance between warm Florida sunshine vibes and alpine winter vibes. Something about that. It's not like it's unpleasant. It's just less harmonious than something like Typhoon Lagoon, which is like all in on the tropicality.
There's also Christmas music mixed in, like tropical, like island Christmas music covers and stuff, which would be fun if you were there in November. But being there now was a little bit like,
yeah. And it seems like they're kind of leaning into Blizzard Beach being the off-season or like the wintertime water park. Mm-hmm. We heard that it's closing in May this year. I don't know when this video is coming up. For all I know, it's already May. But we're here in March, and you know it's been running, I think, since November. So the rest of the year, between May and presumably next November, Typhoon Lagoon is going to be the Disney World water park that's open. Also, as far as rides go, for attractions, sort of the flagship attraction at Blizzard Beach is Summit Plummet versus Typhoon Lagoon with the wave pool. Don't remember what it's called.
yeah.
But I have to come down on the side of the wave pool with this one. I mean, Summit Plummet, again, love the theming. It's very cute idea. I love how it looks like the person is just gonna slide into the air. I love how they do the water that kind of like sprays off of the ramp when someone goes down the slide.
It's fun.
But we had an absolute blast in the wave pool at Typhoon Lagoon, and I prefer that. I prefer having that because they do have a wave pool at Blizzard Beach, but it's more of like a gentle wave pool. So consider that. Really though, I guess the bottom line is if you are staying at a Walt Disney World Resort hotel, you get admission to the water park, whichever the currently open water park is, for free on your check-in day. Mm-hmm. And so yes, like by all means, go to Blizzard Beach.
Yeah.
Recommend without reservation on that front. If you are contemplating buying a ticket to Blizzard Beach,
I would buy a ticket to Typhoon Lagoon.
I would buy a ticket to Typhoon Lagoon.
But I don't know that I would for Blizzard Beach.
Yeah.
Not really, probably.
Yeah. If I were here in the holiday season, I think
I think it would be fun.
Yeah.
That's like November seems like the time to go.
Yeah, if you can find a warm day in November.
Yeah. In Florida though. Yeah.
Yeah, if you get lucky and it's warm enough to swim, which we have determined is upper 60s as long as it's not windy, go to Blizzard Beach in November.
Mm-hmm.
Number one recommendation from this video. Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked our little sampling of Blizzard Beach. If you guys haven't already, please like the video if you're so inclined. Subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss out on the next one or future mouse calls, and comment on the video. I feel like I know there are people out there who prefer Blizzard Beach over Typhoon Lagoon. I am interested to hear from those people.
Yeah. Prove us wrong.
Yeah. If you would like to follow me on Instagram, you can find me here. If you would like to follow Somewhat Savvy on Instagram, you can find her here. And I guess with that, we will sign off. Thanks again for watching. As always, I have been Doc, and nothing presented on this channel should be taken as medical advice, except for this. Wear sunscreen, drink water, don't forget to breathe. Bye-bye.
I really hope I got her in that.